Okay, so I want to talk about this little mess I've got going on here. I've been fixing some of this stuff here. So I want to get a look straight down. Where am I at? There we go. Straight down this thing here. Down right angle. Yeah, that's not where I want to be. More like right there. Okay. That's looking down that ridge there. That's where I'm trying to get support and pull this whole thing in here with this cable. So right now that cable is just kind of holding it this way. Oh, I guess I got that thing all right in the middle of that, don't I? So that steel cable, that turnbuckle, I installed yesterday to kind of pull these rafters together, so everything seems to be spreading out here. And at that point up there in the roof, it's just spreading out, going a little bit nuts. I'm going to spin that around so I'm looking well. We're up to the cupola. It's settling down. So it meets up in that point, right? So this load, so this roof, the cupola, right up there, got this really weird rafter. And it is, yeah, this layout is kind of interesting. Let me see if I can get this stupid thing centered. Okay, so there I am centered. The cupola is up there. To the right is south, to the left is north. If I center that like that, this structure runs about east to west-ish. So looking down this way, that front area, you can see how that roof is. There's a panel wall in there that's kind of helping to hold it together. I need to get another cable on the other side of that. But anyway, looking at how to fix this. This cupola is leaning towards the south pretty badly, so that whole thing is dropped. And the south side, or the north side, seems to be holding pretty well, but the north side has some issues on their own. Trying to figure out exactly what to do with it, and to make it all better, because you see how you got, all right, now I'm facing south again. Those two rafters is doubled up there, run down. Now, when I first got the place, I lifted this up to kind of straighten everything up because something had hit it and it had broken the joist inside here, which I think was that joist there was broken, or was it that one in there? Let me see if it's got enough oomph to see in the dark here. Yeah, that was the broken one. So get all that lifted up in place, and that straightened up as best I could. And it had pushed out some block wall here too. And I kind of did some work to fix it as best I could and move load on this wall to the floor by building a wall across here to take that weight so that it's not fucking anything else up. Anyway, yeah, that wall. This wall right here. I built it, moved some things, take some load to try and move a bunch of that load, and you can see I really went fucking full retard up there with giving it some fucking load carrying capability. It is what it is. It is what it is. It's just I did what I did in a time of I hadn't been able to see the rest of the structure, but I had to fix that as it needed to be fixed. Now I've got all kinds of problems because these are all spreading, and I don't know when they all spread out, why all the rafters spread out, but they're spread out everywhere. I've got some weak blocks in areas, kind of built this to kind of compensate, to hold up these things because they aren't really being held by much. And then you can look up in here, and this one that I'm trying to pull back in really isn't barely on there, just like there, and it's just about like everything around here is. They're all kind of spread out. Now, what people have done in the past, it looks like, coming over to the north side of the structure, you can see the wall. Oh, let me get you spun around here where you're looking where I'm looking. All right, so this wall is cracked at some point in time. It's been like that since I've owned it. Right, and then if I follow that, these rafters here down for that peak, where the load carries on the north side, it comes down here and meets up at this point. And it is, well, this is shit. This is absolutely a problem. And it looks like what they've done is, you see how they scabbed that board on there. So they move the load back to the top of the wall, because obviously right in there, you know, where that rim and the rafter should meet on the top of the wall, well, it's spread out and it's a long ways away from the top of the wall now. So they put these in here to move that load back down to the wall. But they're kind of thin and really, you know, kind of suck, especially in this corner, because if I move load from the south side over here, then some of it might very well, from the south side here, you know, to get that cupola straight, well, that's going to move it down here, you know, so, yeah. So I've got to get this all secured. So I got to do some masonry work. I got to fix all of this shit. But in order to do that, it's kind of one of those, it's holding, it's pretty sturdy, goes through storms all right. So I need to fix what I got, you know, because I've got that. That is a problem on the north side that needs to be addressed, I think, before I move further doing anything else over here. Then we get to this nightmare right over here, which is, at some point, somebody had hacked a bunch of shit out of here. For what reason, I don't know. But you can tell that point right there, which is this south joist that goes all the way up to the cupola, it comes down and puts side force and down force right there. And I mean, that's got quite a bit of a bow. I don't know if you can see that in with this crazy camera. There's quite a bit of a bow in it. And then all that load, you know, down force and side force goes through that, and then it's just nailed. And this is something that was done originally, but I'm guessing, I don't know. This is what I'm stuck with. To these, right? You can see just those 2x6s. And when I finally noticed this was a problem, I was in here doing some work, moving some stuff. And you can see it doesn't even, I don't know if I can get in there very well. I'm not pointing in the wrong damn direction. I am pointing in the wrong damn direction. Yeah, see, that takes all that load from up there and down 2x6, 2x6, and it is dark and it doesn't like to see in the dark. But it doesn't go to anything down there. Maybe I need to get a flashlight. I wonder if I can turn the flashlight on this thing while I'm using it. Oh shit. Okay, let me swipe. That's not what I wanted. Flashlight, there we go. Okay, now let me get back to planet Earth. Where the hell am I? I'm upside down. I'm flying away. No, hey, there I am. Okay, now I can get this thing in there. See, so that's nailed 2x6, 2x6, 2x6 to that 2x6, and then to absolutely nothing. I don't know if I can get that thing down there where you can really see that or not. But yeah, to nothing. So, okay, that's cool. Thought that could be a problem. You know, and then, like I said, that joist that I got the cable on currently, oh shit. I'm not the best at operating this stupid camera. So that cable that's holding or pulling that together, keeping it from spreading any farther out, goes to this little rimmer right here. And that thing there was, well, it's still got a bit of a bow in it, but I'm pushing up on it to get that bow out. And you can see the gap in the roof from just lifting up the 2x6 wall. This was really a lot of it was. And I've been picking up on that to get it to go straight so I could put that board in here down to the floor to support that weight. But it's not fitting yet. And that's not moving a whole lot anymore because, well, it's got a lot of pressure on it. And I'm like, I don't want to push any harder on it. I'm holding it together with the cable, and I'm trying to get it up there to where I get it to the same height as that one, so that board's kind of straight-ish, you know. And then maybe I can build some framing. I don't know what I want to do. I need to block that in so that I can carry the load. So, and maybe do like they did over on the north side where, you know, at this point, this roof is settled a bit, but I've got a bow in the top there. So obviously these rafters that don't have any ties in them up there, those rafters right there that don't have any ties, maybe I can come back and show you, because they're just spread apart, you know. They're spreading apart up there. And need some support. So basically those steel cables, I can suck them up enough to get that thing back to straight. But I'm thinking to get that back corner and all of this, right, I need to reinforce this point right here. That right there, that point right there is a critical point. So I need to reinforce it and get it a path to the ground that isn't that freaking stub wall. Or if it's going to be that stub wall, okay, I need to reinforce you enough to take it. But I need to get it pushed up so I can build something under it to set it on. So I wanted to push up from the middle of here, you know, right up there in the center ridge, push up on it, and then reinforce everything, and then kind of let it go back down. I think there's a squirrel or something up there slinging nuts at me. But, you know, that's going to make everything move to the freaking north wall. I'm going to be putting additional load on it, so I need to reinforce this. But in order to do that, I need to build some sort of framing and lift it up, which I can lift it from the floor, you know, build a cross tie across this whole thing, lift it up so I can fix the masonry and set it back down. You know, it's 140 years old, so it's moved. I don't know why it's moved. Now I just need to get it all secure and stable and put the weight back down on the outside of the wall. Where it should be, not hanging off the edge. So, if I can get that cupola to look straight, that's the goal. But supporting this roof on the outside wall is the biggest thing. So what I've done, and what I'm going to do, the next step, right, I've come up with an assessment of where I need to work, right? Right, so the next thing is to figure out where I'm going. I'll come downstairs here. So the first step, other than reinforcing that stuff up there as best I can, and then realizing where I had some problems. You know, that's pretty good fucking setup. Right, those 2x6s, somebody hacked them out, you know, because they were just, let me close this dang door here. So I'll deal with that. And we can take a look at what I got going on so far. Those 2x6s, well, there they are. There's that dude right there is one of them. And it's not quite hitting this. But like right in there, I don't know if you can see them there real well, but there's one of them. And then there's one of them right there. And it's not really touching a whole lot. It was, see, it all settled down because it's like they cut them. You know, there's another one with a piece of whatever the hell that thing has been flopping there for a minute. I just need to remove it. That one there that I pushed back up. So I've got this beam in here to take that stub wall. And I kind of wish I'd gone farther, but I didn't know how far I'd gotten into. There's that 2x6 that I put up there to take that load from that little stub of a wall, push up that whole thing. Oh, what a, yeah, Anyway, so from that crotch, right, where that crotch sits right about on that joist right there, if I come down. So I'm like, okay, well, if I'm going to do any lifting over there to help straighten that crotch out somehow, like, what does this look like on the floor? Because I've put 2 big steel beams in here that can take all kinds of floor load and extra load, because I've got a steel beam that's just sistering the original 8x8. So I just, when I was replacing this wood beam right there, well, it was what it was. Anyway, I'm going to have to end this here, I think. Well, it says low battery. Fuck it. So anyway, I was looking at this thing. Well, this thing comes up here where they cut this out for that freaking dump box. It doesn't even wall over there, so I've got to replace that and get it secured on the other end and maybe double it up so I can handle that load. And then the freaking south wall here, where I need to pick up that section to fix it. Well, look at this disaster here. These aren't even connected to the beams. They're just hanging out there like a sore dick. So those need to be ripped out, and I need to put some extra support in there so that I can transfer that wall or the roof load down to it across these 2 steel beams and pick it up. So anyway, we're just going to stop there because my battery's about to die. So cool.